Hi, and welcome back to this third video on the CSVkit. In this video, we're going to take a look at one of the most important commands inside CSVkit, namely csvcut. So the command will be csvcut. Here you can see when I run it, this has no input file or pipe data waiting for standard input. So first of all, let me just press Ctrl-C to keyboard interrupt this. I don't want to use it in this way, but I actually want to check out, first of all, the CSVkut help page. And here you can see a lot more information. So first of all, the main aim of csvcut is to filter and truncate CSV file. It is kind of like the Unix cut command, but more for tabular data. So what we'll be using it for is to essentially take a CSV file and then cut out some of the columns. Often when you're looking or working with a CSV file, you're not really interested in all the columns, only some of them. So if I just clear the screen, let's just see what we have here. So we have only our Excel file. So maybe first of all, for a recap, we can do into CSV of my Excel file and save this as data.csv. Now we have a CSV file here. The first thing you can do to get an overview is to use csvcut with a -n on your CSV file. And what that will do is just essentially print out all the column names. So the -n here is short for, I think you can use the long form, which is --names as well. Yeah, these do the same thing. This gives you all the column names. Once you have the overview here of the columns, you can select only some of the columns by providing essentially the numbers. So what you can do is to do csvcut, and then you do -c for columns, I think. And here you can provide, for instance, let me do state, country, and shipping cost of data.csv. Once I run this, I get only those three columns. Let's try another one. Let's do only one, maybe. Then we get only the first column. And you can just specify more here if you want. So say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here you get the 5 first columns. That's pretty neat. Before chaining this command with the previous command we've learned, I want to show you 2 extra things that are worth knowing. First of all, it's not always a good idea to just use the numbers here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but instead you might want to use the actual column names. So if we go back to the names here, you can see here that I can provide state and ship date, for instance, instead of 1, 2, and 10. So let's try this. I can do csvcut columns, but now I do state, county, and ship date like this. And this is a common mistake of mine. I forget to put the file, and then it says, yeah, I'm waiting for the input. It's just press Ctrl-C to keyboard interrupt and then pass in the file like this. And here you get state, county, and I think there was the ship date. The advantage of just using numbers is that, it's faster, but the disadvantage is that if you're trying to build a pipeline that's reproducible, then having numbers is a bit sketchy, because if someone interchanged some columns before it gets to this step in the process, then you might select the completely wrong thing. So it's more safe to select by name. Another cool thing you can do with the csvcut command is say that, okay, let's again just have column names here. Say that I now want everything except number 10. Could do it by selecting, yeah, I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, but that's a lot of writing, and you don't need to do that. You can just do -C and then just specify the column that you don't want. So in this case, it is the ship date. And again, this is from the CSV file. And now I get all the columns except that one. So just try to use good common sense here. If you want everything except 1 or 2 columns, then just remove them with -C. If you want just some of the columns, then use -c and then provide the column names typically. Finally, let's see how we can fit this command into a pipeline with the 2 previous commands we've already seen. So again, let me just for simplicity again remove the CSV file so that I only have the Excel file. What I can now do as a chaining example is that I can start with into CSV. So this gives me this data CSV file, but I don't want to save it as a file. I just want to pass it further on into csvcut because I only want the columns county and I also want ship date, and I forgot here -c. Now I provide them by name. Then I can pass this further on. Notice that I don't put any file here because the csvcut is not accepting the file that gets pushed through here from the previous command. Now I have this. It's typically a good idea also if you're creating these larger pipelines to just essentially once you've started building it, just run it. And you can see that, yeah, we're on our way. So we have had one more command. This is the csvlook command. And another common mistake that I do is I've already written the new pipe symbol here, and then it's completing the csvlook and is preparing to send it to something else who's still waiting. Again, let me just interrupt and just see how it is with csvlook. Now it is in this very nice readable format, but it's probably a bit too much of this. So let's finally pipe this into the less command. And here it is. Now we can scroll it easily. We can quit this program by Q, and you can see here in directory, nothing has been saved. So don't get all of these intermediate files that just clog up space. That's it for this video. Now you have 3 commands into CSV, csvcut, and csvlook. In the next video, I'll look at a really cool command called csvstat for finding out statistical information about columns. Thanks and have a nice day.